In today's video, we'll be talking about how Isreal Adesanya promising to make it an easy victory against Jared Cannonier, Dustin Poirier on past altercations with Colby Covington at the ATT gym, what to expect from Glover Teixeira versus Jiri Prochazka at the UFC 275, and Chase Hooper, the dorkiest looking fighter being on his way to becoming a world-class fighter. So stay tuned. Isreal Adesanya will be taking on Jared Cannonier on July 2nd at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada, and the current middleweight champ has told his kickboxing teammate Brad Riddle on social media to expect an easy victory against Cannonier. He later leaked the message to his fans. The bout between the Nigerian-born New Zealander and Cannonier is scheduled to take place during the International Fight Week in July. This will be Adesanya's 5th middleweight title defense, and the 32-year-old fighter might likely secure his first finish since he defeated Paulo Costa via second-round TKO in September 2020. The UFC champion will undoubtedly enter the contest as the favorite, but Adesanya has to ensure that he remains on his guard and shouldn't underestimate his opponent. Cannonier might be the underdog in this fight, but his record speaks for itself. The Killer Gorilla has recorded a 5-1 in his last 6 fights with notable victories over Addison Silva, Kelvin Gastelum, and Derek Brunson. Cannonier is currently number 2 in the UFC middleweight rankings, having only lost to former middleweight champ Robert Whittaker since making his divisional debut in 2018. On the other hand, the last stylebender is undefeated in the middleweight division and is considered one of the greatest pound-for-pound fighters in the sport. Adesanya holds title victories against Robert Whittaker twice, Yoel Romero, Paulo Costa, and Marvin Vettori also twice. At this point, it'll be safe to say that he has all but cleared out the division. Should we question Adesanya's ego? When most of us can argue what he has delivered sport. Or could his ego put him at a surprising risk? Share your thoughts and comment below. Dustin Poirier was never known to go back to his past, where he's more determined on his present and future progress. The fighter has come a long way now. He did, however, touch base on his former teammate Colby Covington, bringing up past events at the ATT gym. While speaking with Ariel Helwani during a recent appearance on the MMA Hour, the Diamond said that he wasn't a scrap and tell kind of guy, but he can still recall everything that happened those years in the gym. The former interim lightweight champion admitted that Covington used to out-wrestle him. Poirier also added that there were countless times when he got the upper hand over his former teammate. Covington left the American Top Team gym in 2020 after he had issues with several teammates at the gym. Poirier, who's currently number 2 in the UFC lightweight rankings, is one of the major people he had issues with. The both of them have been at odds ever since, with UFC Dustin Poirier recently agreeing to a welterweight showdown with Covington on July 30th. The 33-year-old fighter is yet to get a response from Covington, and this might be because the 2-time UFC welterweight title challenger is currently embroiled in a criminal spat with George Masvidal, who is alleged to have attacked Covington outside a steakhouse in Miami and potentially brain injury to the famous fighter. Would we ever see a fight between Poirier and Covington? And if so, who do you think would win? Comment below. Now, before we head to the next chapter, do you consider yourself a real UFC fan? If so, then let's start the Trivia UFC quiz of the day. Which UFC fighter has a clean 57-0 record in kickboxing? Is it A. Isreal Adesanya, B. Edson Barboza, or C. Stephen Thompson? The answer will be revealed at the end of the video, so stay tuned and subscribe to the channel for more content. Let's head back to the video. Marlon Vera has his eyes set on fighting the number 1 contender, a fighter of no mercy, Petr Yan. The Ecuadorian mixed martial artist is currently on a 3-fight win streak. Chito recently defeated Rob Font in his first UFC headliner that took place in April of this year. Following this win, the 29-year-old fighter wanted to avenge his loss to Jose Aldo in December 2020. However, the Chito has now switched his attention to fighting the former bantamweight champion Petr Yan. Petr Yan's last bout was in March, where he lost to champion Aljamain Sterling for the 2nd time in a row. In an interview with Schmo, the Ecuadorian fighter, currently ranked the number 5 in the UFC bantamweight rankings, stated that, "We're literally 1 win away from fighting for that belt, so I hope we get it done with Yan. I stop Yan and I get a title shot, plain and simple." Does Marlon Vera have what it takes to win the title belt? Jiri Prochazka's UFC 275 betting odds have shortened with 15 days left before the event. Jiri Prochazka has gone from -180 to -200 for his UFC 275 title challenge against Glover Teixeira. Teixeira's odds have remained at the opening value of +160 as he makes the first defense of the belt he won at UFC 267. This will be the fourth time that Teixeira will have the plus money sign written next to his name, and he is 3-0 in his previous 3 fights. UFC 275 is less than 3 weeks away, and Jiri Prochazka has seen his odds to win the UFC light heavyweight title shortened since the opening lines. Teixeira will be making the first defense of the title he won by defeating Jan Blachowicz at the main event of UFC 267 last October 30th, 2021. Although the Brazilian is 1 year shy of becoming the oldest champion in UFC history, there's no question that he's way up there in years, and any time now, the good old father time will be catching up to him soon. The Brazilian-American mixed martial artist recently clarified his previous statement concerning his retirement in an interview with Ariel Helwani at the MMA Hour with some controversy. As Teixeira has gone ahead to say that he does not want to rush into making any retirement decisions that he'll regret later on. The current UFC lightweight champion has been fighting in the UFC since 2012, and he's been competing in pro MMA since 2002. The veteran has fought in a total of 40 professional MMA bouts. While talking about his retirement plans, the 42-year-old champ mentioned Henry Cejudo as an example of prematurely retiring and suddenly trying to climb the ladder again. "I don't want to make a call and be desperate later. I even mentioned Henry Cejudo. Nothing against the guy, I love the kid, but you see him retired and he knows he wants to come back. He knows he has more. I don't want to make this decision like that, but it would be a possibility, yeah." At UFC Vegas 55, Chase Hooper proved to the world that he had more to offer to the octagon. The 22-year-old fighter broke a new record by being the first man to finish Felipe Colares. At the start of his UFC career, Hooper's entertaining presence on social media got a lot of attention. However, things took a downward turn for the featherweight when he lost to Alex Caceres and Steven Peterson. Most people concluded that the 22-year-old's hype was unwarranted when it comes to his skills inside the cage. With his performance this past Saturday, the American fighter believes he had begun to prove that he's not just a dorky guy, but also deserving of his place inside the octagon, as he told Ariel Helwani during an appearance on the MMA Hour. "I'm trying to step up and prove to myself I can succeed, and to the 3 people that matter, Dana, Mick, and Sean, that I'm a world-class fighter and that I deserve to be in the UFC." We sincerely hope that Chase Hooper's quest for growth in the octagon will never let us judge a book by its cover, but even the so-called dork is a force not to be reckoned with. Here we are at the end of this video. So the UFC fighter with a clean record of 57-0 goes to Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Stephen Thompson was born in Simpsonville, South Carolina. He's never felt the feeling of defeat throughout his professional kickboxing career, as he has a record of 57-0. The American mixed martial artist currently competes in the welterweight division and is regarded as one of the most accomplished strikers in the UFC. Presently, he has an MMA record of 16 wins, 6 losses, and 1 draw. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and also turn on your notifications. We'll be reading out our top comments in the near future, and make sure to watch our other videos to find out all the latest news in MMA.